Hello, it's Mohammed from Great POS here. Um, so here in front of us we have the login screen of the software. We will just be entering the default password, which is admin, which is the administrator account. So this account actually has all permissions. So obviously you don't want to give your desk employees this account, but it is the default account that comes with the software, and then you can create more accounts um, and users and give them different permissions. We'll have a look at that shortly. So username is admin, password is one. You can obviously change this password and you can log into the system. Now, first thing we would want to do as a new system, we would want to add our stock. Okay, so to add our stock, we can either click stock here or we can go to inventory stock creation. Okay, same screen. Okay, now we first thing when creating a new stock code is we want uh, to click the next code button. This gets the next code and next available code in the system. So our system uses stock codes to differentiate between one product and the next. Um, it's like a barcode, but the thing is, a stock code stays the same. We get customers who have products and the manufacturer keeps changing the barcodes. So it wouldn't be a good thing to make a stock code out of a barcode. Also because you can have multiple barcodes rung up with the connected with the same item. So that's why we have a stock code. It always stays the same, and it's like a unique ID. It's quite short, shorter than a barcode, easier to use, etc. So we have the stock code 25 here, and we will be making one of the items you requested. So let me just check. Let's make the vinyl labels. Let's do that. Okay. Now, a barcode, if the item has a barcode, you can just scan it with your barcode scanner and it will come up here. Our labels might not have a barcode, so we recommend you just leave it as a stock code. So you just put 25, or you can just click enter and the system puts 25 there. It can't be blank. Okay, then we will put our description. So our description can be 90 by 50 vinyl labels. Okay, if you only sell them in quantities of 100, you can also put maybe 100 here. It all depends to you. Let's say we can sell one label at a time here. Um, yeah. Then our next option is adding our supplier who supplies this product to us. Now, when you first load up the system, you only have the general supplier. You can easily create suppliers by clicking create supplier button, and then you have to click the next code. This gets you the next available supplier code. Then we can just specify our supplier. We can just say the supplier is called label supplier. Keep it simple. And you can also add other information like the address, cell phone number, telephone number. If you have credit with the supplier, or if it's VAT registered, you can add the VAT registration number for your bookkeeping. And we can save this. And it says supplier created successfully. Then you can exit out of here. Now, if I go under supplier, I will see that the label supplier has been created. We can select that. Similarly, we also have main department, sub-department 1, sub-department 2. This is to nicely categorize your inventory, have it nicely split up. It is recommended that you do this well, because when it comes to stock keeping, stock taking, it really helps out because you don't have to count your whole shop at once. You can perhaps just do one sub-department or one department uh, maybe every week until you have counted your whole shop. Up to you. When we click on main department, we see that um, when the software first comes, it just has the general department. You can create more departments by clicking on create department. And let's create another main department. We'll call it labels. Okay. The main department is labels, and we can create a sub one department. So a sub one department is basically it's under the labels category, but you be more specific. Similarly, with the sub 2 department, under this main department, under the sub 1 department, but more specific now. So we are under the labels category, but we want to specify, okay, out of all labels, there are this is vinyl labels. Okay, and you say create sub 1 department, and it says it's created. We can go back. If you want to create a sub 2 department, then sub 2 departments are not created under main department, they're created under sub 1 department. So we can be like, okay, under vinyl labels, I want to specify maybe there's a specific type of vinyl labels. We can say maybe 90 by 50s. Yeah, we can create that. I'm not going to create it for now. You can exit out of here. So you can select our main department. Our main department is labels, and our sub-one department, this is a final label to be specific. Then we can add our cost. I personally don't know how much final labels go for, but I'm just going to estimate, hey, for one vinyl label, maybe 1 rand. I don't know. Okay, but moving on, we can add our markup. So let's say we want to mark up this at 70%. And then we can just press enter, and the system calculates our sale price. So our sale price would be 170. Now, what if I don't want to go off markup? I just want to sell it for example, 150. Then we can just type in 150 here and just click away. And then the system recalculates and is like, okay, your markup would be 50, your profit would be 0.50 cents per item. We can also add our VAT in our cost because this is our Excel cost price. This is optional. Some businesses use VAT, some aren't VAT registered. You can add VAT in the cost, and you can see that the system calculates that the including cost price is 115. Similarly, we can do add VAT in our sale price. We add that, and the system calculates from 173 rand Excel sale, the including sale price will be 199. But now again, we want to sell it for 150. So I'd be like, okay, no, I want it 150 including sale. And we click away and the system recalculates, okay, 150, then the Excel sale price is 130, and your profit is only 30 cents. Because remember, VAT paid to source is not your profit. That's source's money, and the system doesn't want to give you false readings where now you're thinking that VAT is your profit and you're thinking you're making a lot of money out of this product now. Okay, and we can add a quantity. Let's say we have 1,000 pieces on hand. Click 1,000. Add 1,000, and then you can also specify minimum quantity. So minimum quantity is the quantity at which the system would alert you, hey, this is running low, you should reorder the stock. So we can put that as maybe 200. And similarly, the max quantity would be a maximum quantity where the system, it won't stop you from adding more quantity, but it will tell you you're overstocking this item. So we can add that as maybe 2000. Okay. Then we can save this code. Very important to save it. And now it says stock item created successfully. So simply, that's how you would add a new stock item. You can also make changes to existing stock items. So to maybe search up a stock item, you can either remove this and scan the barcode here, or you can click F2 and then search your product. Now I did make a PVC banner earlier, so I'll search up banner. Here we see the banner comes up, and we can click it and it comes up, and we can make any price changes and just save them, or any other changes that you want. Maybe we can add more quantity. So currently we have 100 quantity stock on hand. Maybe we can add 20 more. Click 20, save. It says stock item updated successfully, and now you see your stock on hand is 120. Down here is your 30 days history. I will just refresh it, and now we see this 30 days history just shows you your stock movement. It will exactly tell you, okay, you got this much stock on this day. Um, this much stock was sold on this day. It gives you basically a full log of how was this quantity moving around? When did you get this quantity? When was it sold? So you can exactly know what happened to your stock once it arrived at your business, or whether it was even added to the system. Exactly. Yeah. You can also print out labels. You can have a barcode label printer, and you can print out different labels. By default, the system has a barcode label and a shelf label that is, I believe, a 90 by 50 um, label. Um, I'm not 100% sure. I can check it for you, but it's a small label that can go on your product, and then your shelf label is your bigger label that goes on shelves. You can also customize labels, so you can make any type of label that you want, big, small. You want it to show different things of the stock item. Everything can be done if we have a customizable system. Just let me know and I will set it up for you. Okay, now the next main thing is um, we want to specify upon selling this banner or vinyl labels, we want to specify, does the customer want it to be printed, cut, or designed, have eyelets, etc., etc. So that's simple to do. With our system, we do it as sale prompts. So you would come out to sale system prompts here, and you won't have to set this up for every stock item, meaning you don't have to create prompts for every stock code. You would just have to allocate existing prompts that you've created. I'll show you what I mean right now. So you would have a new message, so a new prompt you want to ask the customer. Okay, so one option is we can um, add print. If you want this to be printed, we can just say add print, and that's one of the options. The customer wants it to be printed. The next thing is we can possibly, the customer wants to add a design. It says, please enter the name of the new message. It will be add design. Or you can say do design. Okay, let's just add that, do design. Okay. Next thing, does it need eyelets? Maybe it's like we can specify eyelets so that the guy is doing the job, or later in the stage when you're looking at your invoices, you know what was exactly done for this customer. We can add eyelets, and then we can, so currently the stock code is our banner. So a banner might not need to be cut. I'm not sure, but we can create new messages. We can create, okay, maybe it needs to be cut item. Okay, we can add that, or we can add anything, because this right block here shows all the system prompts for the sale prompts for all the stock items that exist. You don't actually allocate them. The allocated prompts are on the left side in this left block. So for our banner, you can see this is our 2x1 meter PVC banner. You can go to the sales system prompts, and we can say, okay, we want to give the option to add a print, and we click the red button, moving it. Now add print has been allocated. You can also say we want to give the option to do a design, and we want to give an option for eyelets. Okay, and that's it. Now we don't actually use the cut item property, that it's fine, totally fine, because we can just come here, we can save the updates. It says stock item updated successfully. Now we can search up our labels to show you how we will allocate one to the labels too. We can say it's labels. So these are our final labels. We click it and we can go to sales system prompts. Now see how we created these prompts once, but now we just need to allocate them to the stock code. We can say, okay, we just want the option whether we need to cut the item or not. Also, if we want to print it, we can add that. That's it. And then you can come here and you can save stock item, say updated successfully. Okay, that's all you need to know for inventory. There's other features in the system where if you have barcode, different barcodes, you can come down to barcode. You can add additional barcodes. You can add a supplier stock code. I'm not going to get into that since I don't want this demo video to be too long. We will just get on to how the sale is done and how the job cards are handled. So we can go off to home and then we can either click sales here or we can click sales system, sales system. Okay, I'm just gonna clear this out here to show you. Okay, so this customer comes in and he wants a 2x1 meter PVC panel to be designed and printed, but he doesn't want it with eyelets. Okay, so you can either scan your barcode if the product has a barcode, or you can just hit enter. And this brings up the search for product screen, and we can search up our banner and we can click enter. Now, when we have rung up this item, we see a prompt come up. What do we want to add? Okay, we want to add a print because our customer wants it printed. We just click on print, and here it's added print to the specific banner. And then he also just wants to get the design done. So we say do design, but he doesn't want eyelets. So we click, okay, that's it. We'll click done. And now we can see we know exactly what to do with this banner from the time of the quotation or sale. Let's say this customer also wants labels, so we click enter to search up labels. 90 by 50 vinyl labels, yes please. And then this time the customer wants it printed and also cut. So we click on print and we click on cut item, and the system automatically, because you've chosen all the options, there's no more options, it clicks done for you and adds it to the sale. So, and let's say this customer doesn't just want one label, he wants 100, for example. Okay, we just say 100 and then you press the star sign on your keyboard, and that you can see as the 100 quantity here. And yes, now let's say we are just giving a quotation to the customer. So then you can just press supervisor and you can click on create quotation. Now you see the shortcut to immediately jump to the quotation screen is Control Q. You can do it this way, or you can just press Control Q. I can show you how it's done. When you press Control Q, you can just close out, and when you press Control Q, the same screen pops up. If I press Escape from here, go to Supervisor and show you if you press this button, you see same screen, just different ways of doing it. Sometimes you do forget the shortcut codes. Okay, let's add the supplier's name. The customer's name, sorry. Let's say his name is Albert. Just give him a contact number. You can specify email address. You don't have to. I will give him an email address. Let's say albert@gmail.com. And then you can add comments. You can add anything you wish in here. If you do want to convert this into a job and there's some extra information you want to give your guys at the back, you can specify the details over here. So you can add any job descriptions, anything that's not already obvious. You can add any job descriptions, or in general, you can add any basically anything that is need to be known. Okay. And then we can create this quotation. This would print out in your 80mm receipt printer or your A4 printer, as an A4 is A4 slip or an 80mm thermal receipt. We can go into supervisor and we can say search quotations to look at this quotation. And we can double click and I can just show you how. So we want to preview it. We can either print it at A4 or 80mm. We just want to preview it. And this will load up the quotation. Here you can see it shows us the A4 printout of the quotation. And this is what your quotations would look like. You can customize your footers, and obviously you would have either your logo if you have a logo and your business description. You can add your VAT number here too, and anything else you need to. Okay, now let's say we'll close out. The customer comes back and he is ready to accept the quotation. Okay, if he declines the quotation, I'll also show you what happens. So we can go into supervisor and we can go into search quotation. Okay, now if he rejects the quotation, and let's say that's the end of that customer. You can just highlight his quotation, or you can search it, and you can just delete the quotation, and that's the end of it. You can also email the quotation to the customer. But let's say if you want to make changes or the customer is ready to move forward, you just select the quotation. Now the items you rung up comes out. You see this in red. This is your quotation number that was allocated. Now if the customer wants to add more things, you just simply ring it up. And if you want to recode that, you just you can just press Alt Q, or you can press search quotations here. Let's say we want to requote this because we forgot to add our labor charges. Yes. So to add labor charges, you can add them as a product, a stock product. So similarly, I can just quickly show you. You can go out of the sales screen, go into inventory, stock creation, next code, and we can ring it up, and we can call this labor. This is the labor charges, and then main supplier. We'll just put in the general supplier because it doesn't really have a supplier. Then we can say main department can be under consumables. Okay, and you can associate a cost. Let's say this is actually labor per hour, and you can associate a cost, maybe what it takes to pay your employees per hour. We'll just say maybe 15 Rand per hour is our cost, and we actually charge the customer 55 Rand an hour. And you don't need to allocate a quantity. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. Okay, we can just save that, stock item created, and we can quickly jump back into our sales system. And we can add labor now. We can click enter and labor per hour, and we can specify, okay, for this job, maybe it'll take us 4.5 hours, so 4.5, and we can hit the multiply button, and we've added labor. So we requote it to the customer. Or actually, I left the sales screen. When you leave a sales screen, it actually it still keeps the items that were rung up because you don't want to delete that, but it's no more associated with the quotation as you see here. So what happens when you leave, you close the sales screen, you can let's just delete the current sale that's happening. That doesn't delete your quotation. You press Alt Q, you go back, we can select our customer, and now we see it's allocated with a quotation. The quotation is pulled up. Click enter, and I can add our labor. And I said it's 4.5 hours. Let's say We've added our labor, we got our new code, and we can press Alt Q to recode it. Sorry, Control Q. And there we go. And now it's you would get your new invoice printed out, and it's been recoded and saved in the system. Now, let's say we want to actually, the customer comes back, he's happy, he wants to take he wants to pay, and he wants to get the job card done. So then we pressed Alt Q again, and we pull up the quotation. We can say select quote, and there we have our quotation. Now the customer is ready to pay. If you don't charge the full amount before the job, you can create an account for the customer and then put in your deposit. Now, I won't show that in this video because this video is already getting quite long, but it is possible, completely possible. I can assure you. So we can press F7 to tender. This is now finalizing the sale, and we can be like, okay, how much did the customer give us? If the customer paid by card and it's the exact amount, we don't have to type in anything here. But let's say if he paid by cash, let's say he paid 700 Rand cash, we give him, okay, he gave us 700 Rand, and then we can process the sale as F2. F2 means it's a cash sale, F5 means it's a card sale, F3 means it's an EFT sale, and F4 you can specify for any other sale. So we'll process this F2, and we see our invoice prints out. You can get this in your 80mm receipt, or you can get it as an A4, immediately prints out. This is your complete invoice, and you can see everything that needs to be done. We'll close this, and after you do a sale, so yes, this is also the amount of change we have to give. After you do a sale, the job allocation screen pops up. Now, was this invoice, if it doesn't need to be added to another job, we can click this if it does need to be added to another job, or if it has no job allocation, you were just selling over-the-counter stuff, you can click none, and that's the end of it. But we want to create a new job here. We say create job, and you can see the job details we specified earlier on, they pop up here. Okay, and we can click process, and the job has been created successfully. Okay, now comes how to check your active jobs. To check your active jobs, you simply click Alt J, or you can go into supervisor and you can say view open jobs. You click view open jobs. Here we see active jobs 1. You can refresh it, and we can see a card of the customer's job card. Now we will be like, okay, let's view the job card. And here we see exactly what the customer wants. On the PVC banner, he wants to add a print, he wants to do a design, vinyl labels, you can add a print cut, and this is the labor. So this is the parts and labor. This is a general outline of the job card. You can see the current status. So current status is that the invoice has been added and the last update was done on this time, this date. The job log history, we can see at this time the job was created and then an invoice was added. What invoice? This invoice was added here. This is the invoice number. And let's say we start the job now. We can go to update status. We can say the job is in progress now, and we can specify any comments that suits your business. Let's say we have an employee Tim, and Tim is actually going to be doing this Albert's order. So it can be like assigned, let me just get it, assigned maybe Tim or James or whoever works for you. So you know who did the job. That's very important. Who did the job? If someone is going out to do the job, maybe install it, I will show you how that can be done. So The default that comes with the software is statuses in progress and completed, but you can add your own statuses. I'll show you that next. So we can update here. Status has been updated successfully, and now we can see the new status of this job is it's in progress at this date, and you can also see in the job log what was happening. We can go back, close this, and then we can just refresh this, and in our job cards we can see what is one active job, and the status of this job is it's in progress. And so let's say you want more specific things, like you want statuses of print completed or order completed or delivery in progress, those type of statuses. To do that, you'll go out of your sales system. You can go into home, and then you want to come under I currently have a recording screen. Okay, system, you go under system, you go under settings. Okay, let me just maximize that again, and we want to go under settings, and we can go under job card system. And here we see our current job statuses completed, in progress. But we want to add, let's say we want to add, you can say delivery in progress. That's the job status we want to add. We can click add, and it says added successfully. Now you can see in your drop down we have delivery in progress. Similarly, you can just click one, and you don't want it there, you can remove it. Okay, we won't do that right now. We can go back in our sales system, and we can check our active jobs. We can say Control J, and we can say view job card, and let's say this order has been completed. We can also add ready to collection. So I will show you that too. There's a lot to the system. It's a very nice system that covers basically everything you would have to do with a job. But let's actually say delivery is now in progress. So that means we are going to the customer. You can specify anything that's according to your business, something as the owner you want to know in the job log. So you can say maybe the delivery address, you can specify that. Or if you have company vehicles, you can specify which vehicle is being taken out. Maybe we can say CAA, the license plate number of that vehicle which is being taken out. And you can update this, and status has been updated successfully. Here you see the status of this is delivery in progress. And let's say you go back to your active jobs, you can see here the status is now delivery in progress. Now let's do something. Let's create one more job. We can say this would be a banner 2, PVC banner. This time we want to add a print, we want to do the design, and we need eyelets. It's rung up here. Let's say we want to add our labor per hour. Let's say it's just maybe 3 hours to do this. We added 3 here, and yeah, we're ready. But this time the customer just walks in straight and it's like, you know what, I don't want a quotation, I'm ready to do this, let's do it, invoice it for me. Then you just simply process the sale. F7. This time, let's say the customer pays by card. So how much did he pay by card? 415. And we press F5. And here you see the invoice being printed out. We can close up the invoice and we be like, okay, we want to create a job. And we can specify the customer details now. We can say maybe this was James. Contact number 1234. We can add the email here. I'm not going to do that right now. And we can just add a job description, some description of job. And we can process this job. It says job has been created successfully. Now, when we go press Alt J and we go into our jobs, we see we have two jobs. One, which is the latest one, it pops up first, has just been created, and the other one is in delivery is in progress. Now, let's hop back to this one and be like, okay, Tim came back and he has completed your job. We can come here, completed. You can add any comments you need to. We can update that. And now it's been completed and we can close this job. Close, are you sure you want to close this job? Yes, the job has been closed. Now, who can close a job? Who can reopen the job? Now we see the job is closed. You can't make any updates to it, but you have the option to reopen the job or process any collections. Or you can also print the job card. This is all controlled by permissions. Who can do what? Not maybe your desk employee can't close a job card, only you can close a job card or reopen a job card. You're going to specify all of that. Now that this is done, we go back, we refresh this, and we see now we only have one job open. We can click this job, and here I'll just keep it simple. I just want to show you how collection would work. So let's say we have this job here. This is the parts and labor, and this was associated. We got it from this invoice. To process a collection, we will select this invoice. Sometimes you have multiple invoices because you can add an invoice to an existing job. But let's say we just have this invoice here, we select it and we say select collection. Now we have our item here. We can hover over it and we can see the details of it. And we can click it and be like, okay, this is the only thing you can't collect labor. So you want to click this and you say, okay, this is ready to collect. I want to add this for collection. We can click this, or you can click the wholesale by this button and bring everything over to the collections item grid. Okay, we want to create a collection. Now what this does is it creates a slip or an invoice, an A4 or 80 millimeter receipt that basically has the items available for collection, which you don't have to do when the customer walks in. When it's done, you can print it out and you can maybe have it stuck on a board ready for collection. So when the customer walks in, you know exactly what needs to be collected. You don't have to ask them, oh, what's your job? What's this? It'll have their name and everything on it. And then you can create a collection. And it says items are ready to collect. At this point, you will get a receipt on it. It has a barcode on it. They can be scanned to collect those items. We say, okay. Now, when you come here, we see a job history log. We see collection event. What's already for this collection number? So this is the collection number. Very important to keep track of this. And then we see what is available for collection. So this one piece of this PVC banner with the specifications is ready to collect. Now we can process this collection, sorry. You would normally just scan the barcode. If you don't have the barcode, you can press Alt-C and you can use the number. So I just want to check what was that number. Go to view and it's ending with 5288. Go out of here, press Alt-C, 5288, there it is. Double click and there it tells you, and you can just process the collection. You can also control which employee can actually has the permission to do this. We can collection process successfully. We say okay. We come back to our job cards and status is now collected. An item has been collected. We see an event collected and this this collection items slip has been collected. And yeah, that's basically it. You can add more customizable things like sending it off to printing. Basically keep track of what's happening now. Yeah, we can close this job card. We have closed it, the job closed. We can go out of here. You can see that now no jobs are open. If a customer comes back and is like, you know, something went wrong, it's under warranty, you can open up the same job. You don't have to open up a new job, because the advantages of opening up an old job that was closed once is you can exactly see the log from the date that the customer actually bought it till now. To do that, you will Control H, where you can go into supervisor and click jobs history. This is all the jobs you've done, sorted by most recent to latest. So we can see maybe James wants to reopen his job. We can just double click to check. Here it pops up. We see this job was closed. The current status is closed. We can't do anything to it. But let's say we want to reopen the job. Okay, we reopen. Do you want to reopen this job? Yes, please. And we see that job status is reopened. The job has been reopened at this date. If I go back into Alt J to see my active jobs, now we see it has popped up with the status this job has been reopened. We can view the job, do whatever we want to it. We can print the job card here by clicking this button. It prints out an A4 job card to give to your people. And yeah, that's basically it. That's the system. You can let me know if there's anything else that you need. I can show you just a general, we spoke about it earlier. We go into system, go into manage users, and you can actually manage users. So we have admin here, and you can grant or decline permissions from here. Okay, we wanted to do a payout or refund an item. We can be like, okay, we don't want them to do a refund. We can save it. Let's actually do that, but not on admin. Let's do it on Mohammed because that's not an admin user. Let's just show you. Go into sales system. We go to, okay, so currently it doesn't have permission to void an item. So let's do that. Let's see if I can even remember the password for this account. We can log out of here. We can also perform a backup. We don't want to do that right now. Okay, let me just open up. I can go Mohammed. Password is 1. Yes. Okay, open up on my other screen. And we can go into sales system and we can see, okay, we can ring up something like our meters, our labels, and we just want to get this printed, nothing else, say done. And to void this item, meaning to delete it, we can go to supervisor. You can say void item, or the shortcut key is F8. And we can click F8 and this pops up. Request authorization to allow to void an item because it doesn't have permission to do this. Now you can add your administrator password or you can add the password of the manager. You can set someone as a manager. The manager comes over, he adds his password and he can click override and now the permission was given and the item was voided. That's basically it. We have a bunch of reports. It will take me another 20 to 30 minutes to go over all of them, but in general we can select your time period and you can select what type of report you want to see. You want to see your sales report, returns, payout, cash outs, cash ins, any cash ups, all your invoices, any GRV history. You can see everything. You can see your live sales. You can see your stock analysis. So let's see stock adjustments. Let's see this. And this comes up. So stock adjustment, you can see what stock was adjusted. So there's a bunch of demo items here, but we can see here that hey, you can the green in green means that stock was added. It went up. We can see the previous quantity was 0, then it went up to 100. Oh, like the sales we did here, we can see the stock quantity was 119, 120. It went to 1 down to 190, meaning 1 was sold to this invoice. And yeah, that's where I'm going to stop now. You can let me know anything else you need to know about the system. I can make a demo video for you. Yeah, enjoy.